How are millions of donuts made in a factory? Every great donut starts with perfect ingredients. The journey begins in a carefully controlled storage area where thousands of pounds of ingredients await their transformation into your favorite breakfast treats. The facility's massive storage area maintains precise temperatures to ensure ingredient freshness. Industrial-sized silos hold tons of enriched flour, while specialized containers store granulated sugar, salt, and commercial-grade yeast. Premium vegetable oil selected for its ideal smoking point rests in temperature-regulated tanks. Quality control is the most important thing in the ingredient preparation process. Each ingredient batch undergoes rigorous testing before reaching the mixing stage. Lab technicians analyze samples for moisture content and protein levels in the flour. These exact specifications ensure every donut maintains that signature Dunkin Donuts texture and taste. Massive industrial mixers, each capable of handling hundreds of pounds of dough at once, operate continuously. Automated systems measure each ingredient with precision. Flour flows in from overhead pipes, while computer-controlled dispensers add exact amounts of sugar, salt, and other dry ingredients. Temperature-controlled water and carefully measured yeast create the ideal environment for dough development. These industrial mixers operate on a different scale than home equipment. They mix in program stages, combining dry ingredients first, then gradually incorporating liquids at specific intervals. This process, perfected over decades, delivers the perfect gluten development for that signature donut texture. The industrial mixers work their magic for precisely 8 minutes, transforming simple ingredients into smooth, elastic dough that will become millions of Dunkin' Donuts. These mixers are engineering marvels. Each one handles up to 300 pounds of dough per batch, rotating massive hooks in carefully programmed patterns. The motion mimics traditional kneading, but on an incredible scale. Computer systems monitor the power consumption of each mixer. When it drops to a specific level, they know the gluten has developed perfectly. The dough needs time to rest and develop. It travels along temperature-controlled conveyors into specially designed resting chambers. Here, the temperature stays at exactly 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Over the next 30 minutes, the gluten relaxes while yeast begins its work, creating tiny air pockets throughout the dough. Now comes the precision of the sheeting process. The rested dough passes through a series of rollers, each set slightly closer together than the last. With each pass, the dough becomes thinner and more uniform. Sensors constantly measure the thickness, automatically adjusting the rollers to maintain a perfect quarter-inch sheet. A massive die cutter stamps out dozens of donut shapes simultaneously. The rings are perfectly sized, 3.25 inches in diameter with a 1.25-inch center hole. After the initial cutting, the shaping process begins. The main production line splits into multiple channels, each dedicated to creating different donut varieties. Modern technology has revolutionized this process, allowing one facility to produce over 20 different shapes simultaneously. The classic ring donuts continue down the main line where automated sensors verify each shape's precision. These machines maintain exact specifications, creating that perfect circular shape. Here, specially designed forming machines create filled varieties, pressing perfect pockets into each piece of dough. Automated rollers and cutters transform sheets of dough into everything from donut holes to squares for jelly-filled favorites. Each machine operates with clockwork precision, stamping out hundreds of shapes per minute. Quality inspectors monitor critical checkpoints throughout the forming process. They look for uniform shape, correct weight, and proper texture. Advanced imaging systems photograph each donut, comparing them to ideal specimens and automatically removing any that don't meet the standards. And the proofing process. Inside the massive, climate-controlled rooms, shaped donuts undergo their transformation. Think of these rooms as giant precision-controlled environments where temperature and humidity work together to create perfect rising conditions. Each proofing chamber maintains a constant temperature of 95 degrees Fahrenheit with 80% humidity. These precise conditions allow the yeast to work its magic. Over the next 30 minutes, donuts will nearly double in size. The warm, moist air activates the yeast, creating thousands of tiny air pockets throughout the dough. These air pockets give the donuts their signature light, fluffy texture. The donuts travel through the proofing chamber on specialized mesh belts. These belts move at exactly the right speed to ensure each donut spends the perfect amount of time proofing. Computer systems continuously monitor the chamber conditions, making split-second adjustments to maintain ideal temperature and humidity levels. Massive automated fryers stretch across the production floor, each one capable of cooking thousands of donuts per hour. They are sophisticated machines that maintain oil temperature within half a degree of 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Each donut gets exactly the same cooking time, ensuring consistent results. The oil flows in a carefully engineered pattern, creating the perfect current to cook each donut evenly. Halfway through the frying process, an ingenious flipping mechanism turns each donut. This custom-designed system uses precisely timed air jets and mechanical flippers to turn hundreds of donuts simultaneously. The gentle flip ensures that perfect golden brown color on both sides. Fresh from the fryer, donuts begin their journey through the cooling zone. Special cooling tunnels use precisely controlled airflow to bring each donut to the perfect temperature for finishing. This cooling process takes exactly 7 minutes. Any faster would affect the texture, any slower would slow production. The now cooled donuts move into the glazing station. Curtains of vanilla glaze cascade over the donuts, creating that classic sweet coating. The glaze temperature stays at exactly 110 degrees. Warm enough to flow smoothly, but cool enough to set quickly. Any excess glaze gets collected, filtered, and recycled back into the system. Quality inspectors stand at key points along these finishing stations. They check for proper glaze coverage, filling amounts, and overall appearance. The advanced imaging systems photograph each finished donut, ensuring it meets standards before heading to packaging. These final checks guarantee that every donut leaving the facility delivers the perfect combination of taste and appearance.